Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. It is the preview for the QPR home game. Dad, you back? What are you saying?
Well, first and foremost, yet again, I couldn't make bloody Leeds. I was hoping for it, but I've got a protrusive disc. In other words, it's like a herniated disc, but the pain's horrific. But anyway, none of that nonsense. Hoping to be back as soon as. But thank you once again for all the kind comments. I know people have come up to you, Dad, especially
Yeah, quite a lot of them. Thanks for
our
the support, guys.
King Carl Swain and Johnny the John Wainwright. But listen, Dan, before we go on to the QPR, bloody hell. What a magnificent achievement, I think, the Leeds game. Should I tell you something? It proved to me that when they want to, Albion turn up and do the biz. We should have beat Leeds. I think not comprehensively, but we had the opportunities. Shane Furlong had a brilliant chance to score a second. And I know Bartley's been coming in for some stick, but I thought it was Colossus at times. And I think that the dink that John Swift done in, and I think that was a fluke of a goal, great. But it said on the telly it was well taken. It was a
Yeah.
fluke, really. Yeah.
Do you reckon? Well,
Yeah.
if I'm honest, Dad, of course, at the game, I said it was a really, really good performance. I think many people could say that. I think many people in the comments even said that down below. And I think on the preview, the Leeds fans were saying, "Oh, yeah, you're going to get turned over this, that, and the other." And I knew that in us, we've got a really good squad that can play like that against a really good side that Leeds are. And we really, really showed up. I thought Mikey Johnson was really, really good in the wing. Not just the fact he was taking on players and being the star for us that he was. I thought tackling wise, he was exceptional. I think he won that highest interception rate on the pitch from a 5 out of 5 tackles or something like that. And again, I thought Isaac Price, he was unbelievable on the right hand side. So, of course, normally you play more essentially, but playing on the right hand side, I thought he brought something completely different. And we know what he can do with balls into the box and whatnot. And again, I think he was, Josh said in the vlog, if that swift chance goes in the first couple of minutes, when I think the ball from the right hand side from Isaac Price comes in, it completely changes the game when we go 1-0 up. So I think the quality that we had during the game was really, really good and promising for the games ahead.
Yeah, I agree. I think Price is a revelation. I think we've picked some diamonds out, haven't we? I think that I'll tell you what, special praise I think must go to Adam Armstrong. I know that he's a goal scorer, and I know that he'll always be judged on the amount of goals he scores. But tell you what, he opens up the play for people. And I think Tony Mowbray was saying that if you was to see him in training, and I didn't realise he can kick with the left and the right. I think he's proven goal scorer. I just think that all right, he hasn't put the goals in the back of the net to the volume I expected, but he'll be all right. And I think that he
He
will
brings
be.
them in.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Go
He will. He will be the signing that brings us into the playoffs. I think. And I'll tell you something else, Dan. I
on.
think that Albion on the day won't get bullied. I think the only thing that's going to stop the Albion from getting to the promised land, I think, is themselves. I think that they have problems getting themselves up for lesser teams, or in our eyes, or our supporters' eyes, the lesser teams. But to tell you something else,
Go on.
Mowbray's key to it all as well. You know, he's
He
come
is.
out in the. I know you're chomping at the bit, but come on, get
Go
age
on,
before.
give it to you. Go.
I actually think that Mowbray right has lifted the lid really now on Carlos's reign. Nothing must be. You will not get me saying a bad thing about Carlos. The only thing I will say is when we met him, and you know what he was like. He's that intense. I think he does things 100 mile an hour. And I think that he expects everybody to join the party that he's on. It's 100 mile an hour, and I think that it was more like a military camp, I think. And we've always said this on the vlogs that when that other coach went, Albion's momentum dropped.
Mark, go
So
ahead,
I
mate.
think yeah. So I think that he was a good bloke, and we had a good laugh with him, didn't we?
Yeah,
Go on,
really nice guy.
Alicia. Go on, Alicia.
Well, the reason why I was going to add on to what you were saying was because it came out, I think, the other day. I think it was Jed Wallace, an interview on BBC Five Live. I think it was talking about Carlos Corberán. And what was the one thing that you spoke to Carlos and that he's banned? It was ketchup.
Yeah, I think that to me that well, yeah, we're all different, aren't we? To
So, of
me, I
course,
don't.
the story he said, sorry to put it, was the fact that, of course, I think Jed had a kid, and he said Jed spoke to him about having, I've got to have a day off and whatnot, and he goes, Jed Wallace, come in tomorrow and whatnot, and he's saying like this, like it's like a day in the life of right, he'll be here tomorrow rather than he'll have a couple of days off because it was that much intent of what they were doing, and I think now Murray's kind of took the reins off a bit, and they said more like now it's we can have a bit more time off, a bit more free time. They probably feel a bit more happier in themselves because Jed Wallace said the fact that it was a bit. irregular. The fact that when they were trying to come into work and whatnot, it was more really, as you were saying, intense. And now it's a bit more laid back and a bit more attacking freedom. You can see in how we're playing, can't you?
Yeah, but don't forget, I think under the days of Stevie Bruce, right, I reckon the players got away with absolute blue murder. And I'll tell you what, age is like a fine wine. I'll always remember, right, under God rest his soul, Keith Birkinshaw, right, who was the manager. We had a player, right, who couldn't remember the kickoff time for a Sunday game. Fabian De Freitas, his name was. Okay, so there's a fine balance there. Don't forget, right, in my eyes, I think King Carlos right was not an authoritarian. I don't think he rolled at the players, but I think he expected a lot more from them. I think as he gets into his managerial career, he'll calm down somewhat. So that's why I said on the previous vlog that with Tony Mowbray, right, he's been there, he's done it. Don't forget, I think if I'm not mistaken, pretty sure his wife passed away, his first wife many years ago. So I followed Tony Mowbray's career when he first joined the Albion, and I'll tell you something, as a player, he was a colossus. But I think the fact that we Albion and Tony Mowbray are finally matched, I think, because I think we're in our last chance saloon. Because I think that Tony Mowbray probably never imagined that he would be getting this opportunity. So I think he brings with it humility and I think experience. And I think that if the players don't turn it on, right, they've not only let themselves down, but they've let Tony Mowbray down. So don't forget, right, players are funny devils because I tell you what, they want everything their own way. Now, can I just say,
Go
we
on.
sit sixth in the championship, right? Out of the chasing pack, it's obvious our conversion rate and finishing off opportunities are causing concern. I think the fact that our top goal scorer is out gives us hope with Maja. I don't know what the situation is with him, do you?
I think he was rumored to come back around March time, I'm pretty sure, guys. What do you know anything about it, guys? Put on the comment section down below. But I think it'd be probably towards the end of March, April time that he comes back. But how good will he be when he comes back, may I just say?
Yeah, I think we're on. I think I'm forecasting a roller coaster ride. I'm also forecasting, right. I don't know which team it will be. We'll be on the wrong end of an absolute tanking from the Albion. I've said it for some time now, right? The Leeds, right? We look if we went to the champions elect, which I think they will be, and give them a lesson. And I think it was so refreshing at the end of that game, right, to hear Mowbray and Daniel Farke talk. He more or less said, "Look, we underestimate the Albion. That they give us the run for our money," and I think they were pleased with the draw. I think that some of the stuff we're getting out of jail with, like the defenders scoring goals. Again, once again, if you're an Albion supporter, I wonder if I've got nowhere. Is we're creating chances, but we just ain't putting them in the back of the net. So I predict a 4-1 scoreline in the weekend.
Really? Wow. Wow. I'm impressed with that one. I got to quickly speak about the fact that in the game, Dad, I think Leeds players actually came out after and said the fact that, only one team are playing for the win at the end. And it was really interesting because I thought we both were in the game. Of course, they was going to see it differently. But I want to know what your guys' thoughts were. I thought the chance to end with Fellows was a brilliant chance at the end. On his day, he could have scored that, of course. So we spoke about it as you watched on TV. From where you saw on TV, Dad, did we see him attacking? Because where we were on the away end, I thought we really attacking and could have scored a goal easily.
I honestly thought that for probably half of the first half, Leeds looked really good, and I thought they were going to absolutely tank us. Then just before half time, we were knocking, and we got that goal. And I thought the second half it was anyone's game, but I thought Albion were in the ascendancy. I think that Leeds thought all they got to do is turn up and tank us. They didn't, and I think right on any other given day, that's what I'm saying to you now is we had chance after chance after chance. And that's where I would have expected Adam Armstrong to come in. Because don't
Yeah, that
forget,
one chance in the first half
yeah,
when he kind of did the
yeah,
keeper and then they cleared off the
yeah.
line. But I've got to speak to him before I forget about this, by the way, because we talk about it quite a lot. Um, Overall, Leeds didn't really have that one chance, except for the goal they scored, where they were like, should have scored that chance, really. They had one or two where Perot, I think, straight Wild Smith, maybe Mateo Joseph put it past Wild Smith over the bar. But I thought the goal could have been dealt a lot better with. I don't know if it was Bartley's fault 'cause he didn't see his man or Joe Wildsmith. On the goalkeeping situation, then people are still up there for debate, guys. Who would you start on Saturday? Because a lot of people are saying they bring in Josh Griffiths and give him a go because Wildsmith has been good, but he's dropped a few clangers here and there. Or would you stick with Wildsmith? Because overall, I don't think he's been bad at all.
I haven't been a goalkeeper myself, Dan. The worst thing you can possibly do now is drop him because his mental state it will be that I've got a problem. Looking and analysing the goalie, I have got my concerns. I think sometimes the fact that he hasn't probably been in competitive matches week in, week out suggests to me that it's not as if it's almost as if he doesn't read the game that well and he switches off. I think that
A bit like
for all
Palmer.
yeah, hang on. For all Palmer's weaknesses, Waldsmith is better than him. But for all Palmer's good things, Waldsmith don't match him. And I have got concerns, but like Button, you start dropping him. And no, I think that no, stick with him because he's a professional footballer for a reason. He ain't daft. He's got the news. He just needs to. Don't forget, Dan. The team are relative. We've got some in the key positions. We've got players that are relatively new. Carl Bartley really should be bringing the best out of that keeper because he's the elder statesman. He should be telling him. Now I know that watching Albion as we do, he used to roll at Palmer like there's no tomorrow. Palmer's get out of jail was to give it plenty of this. I would. Yeah, here's one for you.
Go on.
Palmer's gone, but is he a better keeper than Waldsmith?
Yes. He is shot stopping wise, and I think kicking wise probably the same because I think we've seen from Wales for the last couple of games that his kicking isn't as great stability, especially when going up to the right hand side. Occasionally, it's a really good ball to furlong, but it might go out of play. But my worry is with Wildsmith, he doesn't look confident at times, and that's my only
Yeah,
worry going into these
yeah.
games towards the end of the season where he could drop a clanger because we saw against Blackburn where he had two howlers where I think he tries to come up to the ball a bit too much and then panics, goes back on his line, and then they have more chance of scoring. And I think while I think Josh Griffiths could be mentioned in coming back in, I think, as you said, you've got to stick with Joe Waldsmith in goal for the rest of the season, just for that confidence aspect. Don't get me wrong, he's been second choice at Derby, Sheffield Wednesday, quite a lot of these teams. But I think at this moment in time, you've got to stick with him in goal, have that bit of confidence, because otherwise, if Josh Griffiths was to come in and have a clanger as well, what's going to happen then?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that is really well put. Now, you hit the nail on the head there because watching him, you know, I haven't got the luxury of watching him, live in person kind of thing. But I do. I question his footballing brain. I really do. As a goalkeeper, right, his instincts aren't that sharp. If I was in goal, right, and the ball's there, you've got to make that decision right straight away. Are you going for it or not? Now, I think he gives the opposition hope, thinking, tell you what. Let's put that keeper under it because he's our weak link. Now, hang on. So if you think about it, we've got a weak link at the back, we've got a weak link up front with snookers because we can't score goals and we can't save them. This is where, right, really speaking, the goalkeeping coach needs to earn some cash.
Who is it?
Because
it's Bo Ismail.
Is it really?
It is.
I'm gonna say something controversial here.
Go on.
He weren't the world's best, and he was always a good number two.
Yes, that's right. So we'll be interested to see if he has an impact because, of course, when Button came in, he had a good couple of games and then went off the ball. So it's going to be interesting coming up. But I've got a speech that, honestly, overall as a team, I thought Styles, we've criticised him in the past. He was really good. I thought Furlong, he doesn't get enough praise for how good he's been lately of time, especially improving the Carlos Corberán and that midfield, especially, Dad. How good is that midfield trio of Malumbi, Mowat, and Isaac Price?
Yeah, we're blessed somewhat in midfield, but it's pointless having a great midfield if you don't score the goals because we can play like Brazil or whatever it is, but if we don't convert the chances, I'd rather have a poor midfield. Onto Furlong, I think that it's a difficult one for Furlong because I think that his job really is to defend, and when you need him, sometimes he ain't there. Sometimes I'm not going to put him under the bus. I'll give him 8 out of 10 at the moment. But you know what? He's consistent, and at this time of the year, we need it. But let's listen. The beautiful thing about football is we've all got opinions, right? And the thing is, it needs every player to bring their A game at the same time. I'm not hugely concerned. It was a marker for me to suggest that footballing wise, we're okay. But that chasing pack, Dan, I was thinking about it in the week. Right, I think personally, there's only 2 spots up for grabs.
Well, there is, isn't there? I think the gap between Sunderland and seventh place now is over like 10 points. So it's going to be hard for at least Sunderland to bottle it, and Albion or even Coventry, Middlesbrough, Bristol City. The mad team's gone a bit of a run and make sure Sunderland lose. It's going to be hard. But I've got a couple of shouts out quickly, Dad. Massive shout out to, I think it's Kirsty and Charlie for coming up to me at the Leeds game. Dan Barnes for watching the videos from Vietnam on his travels. Massive shout out to you guys. But Dad, I'll go on to the QPR game now. You said 4-1. Can you give us some goal scorers?
Yeah, I think Malumbi will get one. I actually think that Carl Bartley will get one. I think that John Swift will get two. And there's your four.
Okay. I'm going to go for this weekend. I'm going to go convincing 3-0 victory. I think that at home, I think we've lost twice this season. So it'd be nice to keep it like that and have a convincing win and perform like we did against Leeds. I'm going to go for maybe a Mikey Johnson and Armstrong brace. But I think this weekend, we've got to watch out the players. I'm a big fan of Elias Chair. I think he's a Moroccan international. He's really, really good on the ball. And we spoke about many times when we've gone to QPR. He's that attacking player for QPR who looks as though will make things happen. And especially remember the ball man up top three, who we always talk about that we used to go there. He's really good on his game. I wouldn't want to play against him.
I wouldn't, but I think that again, Carl Bartley is the man. I mean, it's a shame we'll have to do another one in the week because I'll tell you something that I've been thinking about, Dan.
Go on.
And you've alluded to it earlier, right? We're in a position whereby if we go full steam ahead, we'll be fine. We only need a draw and a loss, and you're out of the picture. But I'm in one of them moods, Dan, whereby I'm thankful to be sat down here because this time yesterday I couldn't bloody stand up there and sit down.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give away some stuff, right?
Yep.
And it's going to be themed for next week, St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
Can those young, old, or indifferent name as many Irish players that have played for Albion? Could be the Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland. Right, I'll start you off. We've got one in the camp as we speak. You can't tell them because it's the viewers. Without the viewers, we're nothing. And I'll tell you something without me getting sentimental. I'm so proud of you, of Rebecca, of Joshy for doing what you do and how you do it.
Big shout out to Joshy.
Because it ain't easy. And by the way, I am not all the be all and end all. I'm just a mouthpiece, but you do an excellent job, Dan. I'm really proud of you. And I'm proud of the fact that we've got some wonderful...
We've got a good community, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. And I'll tell you what. Oh, no, I'm not going to say because I get really upset. But King Carl, for me, I can't wait to meet him in person.
Yeah, no. Big shout out to you, Carl.
From over the pond as well. John Raymond.
Can I say, by the way, a massive shout out to someone, to Joel. I thought when he comes on, he speaks words of wisdom, doesn't he? He is a man with poetry. And he was confident for the Leeds game, so we gave a point or a win. He was right, weren't he?
Joel, for me, he's not only a wordsmith; he's a lovely human being. And you know what I miss the most, Dan?
Go on.
Obviously, I miss the lads, but I miss the banter. I'm not. Don't really miss the banter against home games because there ain't much there. But on away from home,
brilliant, isn't it?
Everybody, and I miss the little pockets of chats that I have. Anyway, I'm not going to get sentimental. So listen.
Can I just quickly speak about this quickly? I was going to go back onto the because you swap Mowbray, and it's just sparked my head, so I've got to quickly mention this. Of course, he changed the team for the game against Leeds. Is there anything you would do? Because of course he brought John Swift in again and kept him there and kept his place. Do you think he warrants another start? Sorry to spudge him, I've got to say it.
No,
really?
No, I don't. Yeah,
Would you change it then?
Yeah, I would. In fact, I was thinking about him the other day. You know what I think it is with John Swift? I actually think that I don't think he's that confident. I don't. He's got it. He's technically he's gifted. He on his day, he's probably the best technical player we've got. But I actually think he's got a confidence problem or probably a self-belief because not being disrespectful, but now at the age he is and the career that he probably should have had, I think that he probably hasn't made the most of it. I think when he retires, he'll look back. But again, we're all different, aren't we? I have my ups and downs. We all have our ups and downs. But the player for me, right, who holds the key for the rest of the season is, in fact, there's more than one. There's Adam Armstrong, there's Fellows, and there's Dion Garner, baby.
Dion Garner, baby. Yes.
You want to sing me? Anyway, listen, Dan.
Can I quickly say something before we go?
Wherever you are, no, you can't. Hang on. Wherever you are, behave yourselves. Look after yourself. You, Daniel, stay off the sauce.
And you, I know what you're
I,
like.
I can't. I can't. I haven't drank for months.
Can I quickly say as well to everyone, an appeal for the 16th minute in the game this weekend. I think it was sadly Stacey Paul passed away. So in the 16th minute, make sure you clap for her. But anything else to say, I just say?
Yeah, I would actually, Dan. Make the most of every minute of every day because, like you've just said, poor old Stacey. And I'll tell you what, something I'm still really furious about, but I've got to be careful, like the doctor says. I'm going to have to, now I'm not, till I get emotional. The poor lad who lost his life. What's that anyway? That's going to be another one. I promised I wouldn't get upset because my back's going to go now. But listen, love you, love the Albion community, love all things Midlands. And there's only one, Tony Mowbray.
Guys, thank you as always for watching these videos. We really do appreciate the support. Make sure to put in the comment section down below what is your formation team, whatever you want to put it down in the comment section down below, especially your score prediction. Make sure to like and subscribe if you can. Dad, anything else to say?
Yeah, I'm going to drop you right in it. I'm going to attempt to do a live vlog, a live debate. I know, look at your eyes, a live debate. Let's get our Albion community together for Easter and let's have a debate. Yeah.
Okay. Is there a game that we can see you back on, or is it still up for debate?
Well, if it was me, Dan, I'd be there tomorrow. But what happens is at any given time, because I'm in trouble with Uncle Mark.
Yeah.
Anyway, but listen, best wishes to Grandad David. I had a serious operation this week. Thank you to everybody at Russell's Hall Hospital. Now, with me, Dan, I don't know. The answer is I don't know. I just really don't know.
Okay. Guys, thank
anyway,
you so much for watching as always.
It's
Showtime!